I miss you, I ain't dish you. Call the sauce line if you got an issue. From the Rockets, the Stroud.
What the hell is Sauce Sports or whatever that last call was talking about? What the hell is that?
Guys are from Free Love, man.
North side, south side, east side, west side. Perfect. It's the sauce, ho. You know what the fuck it is. From the east to the west, gotta represent. From the north to the south, gotta represent. They try to steal the sauce, but they ain't got the fresh ingredients. I know the round table, the real round table. Anything else, bitch, that's just an imitation. Shout out Wide, shout out Wink. What up, Tenny? What up, Ray Ray? What up, Spitz? 10 toes down since the beginning. If I miss you, I ain't dish you. Call the sauce line if you got an issue. From the Rockets, the Stros, Texas, the Dynamo, Houston's #1 sports show, brought to you by Honcho. Perfect. North side, south side, east side, west side. It's the sauce, ho. You know what the fuck it is. From the east to the west, gotta represent. From the north to the south, gotta represent. They try to steal the sauce, but they ain't got the fresh ingredients. I know the round table, the real round table. Anything else, bitch, that's just an imitation. Shout out Wide, shout out Wink. What up, Tenny? What up, Ray Ray? What up, Spitz? 10 toes down since the beginning. If I miss you, I ain't.
That like button. Hit that like button. Yo no soy celoso, pero ¿quién es ese cabrón? Dime quién es ese cabrón. I'm looking forward to a Bad Bunny concert coming up soon, guys. I hope you guys are too, because it's going to be a double benefit. It's going to be a great show. I'd like to welcome you to Soft Sports. I'd like to welcome you all to Soft Sports. Let me fix this. Finally got the other camera acting right. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to Soft Sports. I know I'm late, so I ain't gonna hold it up. I ain't gonna bullshit too much. I am your host, Ed Hunter, man. I'm glad that you could be here. You could be anywhere else in the world, but the fact that you chose to spill a little sauce before this historic, epic game between the Houston Texans. Now I'm on the other camera. I don't know where I'm at. Peanut, you can put your fucking move, Peanut. You in your bed. Between this historic game between the Houston Texans and some team from New England, really doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter who you line up from the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans are ready to handle some business today. Make sure you hit that like button. If you new to this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're true to this, WTMFD. You know what I'm saying? If you know what it means, say it back. If you don't, then you probably need to get on track. Like I said, I'm your host, Ed Honcho, man. This is Soft Sports, a Houston Homer Network. We're talking all sports, but only Houston, or mostly Houston. Let's talk about it, man. So much to talk about, so little time. Let's kind of get a quick roll call going in. Like I said, I know I was late. So I know y'all don't care, but it's like I not be talking. So like I say, my streaming setup, I have it set up for the den and I have it set up for the sauce. But I've been telling you, I've been tinkering with a bunch of stuff in the background, so I had it set up to where there's like a one button click for the setup I need. But somehow I got stuck on the den, and so anytime I try to switch to the sauce profile, it would like crash out. So that's what was the hold up. Got that fixed. Anywho, like I said, let's see who we got joining us. Let me adjust. I'll be forgetting this thing. This thing just tilts. That's how much easier it is to see like that. And just tilt this, Honcho. Look at you. Looking like a human being, motherfucker. All right. Let's see what we got here, man. It's a great. Like, did you did you had to wake up feeling good, right? Like I wasn't able to, I didn't go to sleep till like 4 last night. And then probably I woke up like 4 or 5. It felt like, I mean, I told you, I grew up Jehovah's Witness, so I didn't grow up celebrating Christmas. So I don't know how that felt to y'all. But it felt like what I would assume would be like a kid on Christmas morning, like in anticipation of what you're going to get, what's under the tree. And it's almost time to unwrap the gifts, right? It's almost time to unravel the present. But are we going to get a good game from CJ Stroud and that Houston Texans defense? Or should we say that Houston Texans defense and CJ Stroud? Or are we going to get a lump of coal? That's why I'm still wearing the Grinch, right? That's what I'm saying. Because we got to get there and we got a Grinchy. We got to be like OG Grinch, not converted Grinch who had the intervention. We got to be like the Grinch who motherfucking me was taking the gifts, right? Because we got to get greedy, right? And then it's going to get warm again. I ain't going to be able to wear this shirt anymore. Christmas season's over with, but I like this one. But anyway, so you got to get greedy, right? And we got to get out there and go take some shit. But let's see what we got joining us. And we're going to get into a great conversation. Like I said, there's so much to talk about this game, man. So many storylines, so many points, so many things to get into. Hopefully we have enough time. We're going to wrap it up probably 5 minutes before. If you're in the Discord, you already know what it is. You want to be a part of that, patreon.com/SauceSports. If you want to be in the conversation, the Sauce 24/7. It is the greatest conversation happening in sports. And you say, well, Hunch, if it's the greatest conversation, why don't you let everybody? Because you gotta filter some stuff out, right? Like it's a good conversation because of the way it is. Sometimes you let too many people into certain shit, and they just get in there and just be trolling and just doing dumb shit and making shit, weird. So there's a reason why we do it like that. But I appreciate all of you who do support the Sauce by being a member. Gonna have some more features, some more things coming up with that. But like I said, let's see. We gotta say, Josh McCarty, what's the motherfucking deal? Wise, the wise man in the building. I think Wise is the funniest nigga in the fucking world. Wise need to do stand up, man. Texan boy, what's the motherfucking deal? D Love, what's the motherfucking deal? Jared Key, keep up. What's the motherfucking deal? Man, keep on giving me a great idea. I hope to implement that very soon if things keep going well. El Lobo. Always good to see my brother El Lobo. What's the motherfucking deal, man? King Hefe, good to see you. JB World. Let me see. Black Vegeta, nervous. Patriots better be nervous for this service. You know what I'm talking about? They about to get this Sunday service. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? It's about to go down, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's really going to be a great day, I think, in Texans history. I am feeling, this is what I'm saying, like the game. Let's talk. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all that, right? So HTX Savage, what's the motherfucking deal? Kool-Aid High, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. TD, what's the motherfucking deal? Robbie, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. I promise, man, if I miss you, I ain't dish you hating, man. If y'all let me sit in the woodworks, I know it'll be people like, I'm just gonna watch this Sauce. I'm not gonna say too much. Speak up for yourself. Be a part of Sauce Nation. Be a fresh ingredient. Everybody's welcome in the sauce. Everybody's opinions are welcome in the sauce, whether you agree or disagree. That's what makes the sauce so good, because the sauce ain't shit without the fresh ingredients like you guys to bring fresh perspectives on this Texans conversation. Anyway. With that being said, I'm not gonna do the automatic roll call. I think the bot's working. I don't know. It's a lot of shit going on. I'm not even worried about the bot right now. I'm worried about these Texans getting out on this feeling, kicking ass. So what I've been told, this is the last update I saw it early on. Everybody was telling me it's about to be a blizzard, honcho. It's gonna be a rough and tumble game for the Houston Texans because they're gonna play in weather that they've never played in before. How are they gonna handle it? How are the Patriots gonna handle it? How are the Patriots going to handle playing in weather they haven't played in before? When were the Patriots recently, in recent history, playing at this time of year? That's some damn good water. Can anybody, like, this is the stupid shit. This is stupid shit you got to listen to when you got to listen to people who have like no real takes, and they're hoping and they're praying and they're saying. They're saying stupid shit. Carlos, what's the motherfucking deal? El Heights, what's the motherfucking deal? Like I said, man, like it's it's pure comedy. Well, look, guys. Let me tell you what you guys got to do. I know how you go out here and you beat CJ Stroud. Okay, what you got to do is you got to do what no one else has done, and you really got to put pressure on him. You got to blitz him. And he's not going to perform well under the blitz. That's what I tell you. I know I'm a Boston guy. I know what I'm talking about. Right? It's how you beat this Houston TV. These guys are frauds. They're not really. Houston Texas defense. It's a joke. They ain't playing nobody. They ain't playing nobody like the Patriots played somebody. You know, this is the stupid shit they're saying. Right? Patriots play like one playoff team. I think Rams maybe. Did they play Bills? Yeah, of course they play Bills. Rams or Bills. Bills, divisional game. That's neither here nor there. That's like us taking credit for Jacksonville when we already know what we're going to do in a divisional game. We don't really care about that. But outside of that, have beaten several other Sound more like I don't know. All them motherfuckers sound the same. Everything on the East Coast sound the same to me. Boston has I can't do the Boston, right? Like I can't get that. It's got like this nasally mucus. It's just like I can't do it. I can't do it. I've been like semi-practicing. I can't do it. But fuck it. All of them on the East Coast and they need to eat the same dick. Fuck them. Unless you fuck with the Texans, then you cool. If you're not, then fuck them. Fuck you. Yeah, that's how it goes. So it is what it is, man. Yeah, this is what y'all don't get. Let me get on the Jag stuff and then let me get into this because this is what y'all don't. Trill YouTube, wherever Trill at, he may or may not be in here, man. All I know is this, right? All I know is this. If I'm saying the Jags are a good team, accept that because we beat them. Then that's another good team you beat. If you're like, nah, they're a trash team, then that diminishes your record. That makes it look like you didn't play as many good teams. Like, I don't understand why it's so bad to say the Jags are a good team, because then that's two things that it does for you. The fact that they beat you, you lost to a good team. And the fact that you beat them, you beat a good team. But when you say that they're trash, and then, well, they beat you with your starting quarterback, makes your starting quarterback look more trash than when you beat them with your backup. Like, y'all guys got to understand what the words and the things you say and why I say the things I say. The reason why there's always a extra little layer of nuance when I'm saying some shit, right? Like, unless I'm just going on a crazy rant. I think y'all know the difference when I'm just being off the cuff versus like when I'm saying certain things, when I actually slow down my speech, right? When I slow it down and I start saying certain things, it means that I'm probably up to no good because I have a statement that I'm going to make, but there's a catch somewhere in the statement. You may not see the catch initially, or the catch may not be in that statement itself, embedded in that statement, but it may be to a point I'm going to make later on in the stream or something like that to refer back to that, to call back to that statement. So it's look, hey man, I'm going to give y'all the sauce. It's just up to you to what you do with it. Anyway, Cujo, what's the motherfucking deal? Jamal, what's the motherfucking deal? So, like, all I'm saying is though, these people from Boston are saying, you just beat them over the top. That's how you attack the safeties. You attack who? I'm looking at Roger. You attack who? The all pros, the snub all pro. You're gonna attack who? Okay, that's smart. That's why these guys ain't watching. Well, the Chargers was a top 10 defense. Told y'all last stream, there's a huge difference between top 10, top 5, top 3, top 2, and number 1. There's a huge difference in each one of those steps. Top 10 ain't the Texans, right? The top Texans are the best. Like we can go by the stats and we can say, oh, score. Like that last game when nobody played and it didn't matter, it got a little ugly and it skewed the stats. Let's be real. The Texans are number 1, right? Like that last game skewed some stats and it just made it look junky, but the Texans didn't really give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, right? But again, the Jags are like the Cowboys, though. Like, why do we care about the Cowboys? Like, I get it. Fuck Dallas. I get it. Fuck Dallas. But, like, at this point, when you're a big dog and when you're doing more than other teams, like, why do you care? Like, what has Dallas done? Like, because really anything Dallas did before 2002 is irrelevant when you're making a comparison to the Texans, right? Because we only had a chance to compete since 2002 moving forward. What has Dallas done comparative to the Houston Texans in that time frame that makes you even give a fuck about them, right? Come on, they're not doing nothing. In that time, we've been a significantly better team, right? So who cares? Fuck Dallas, fuck the Jags, but we'll give them our credit just to make ourselves look better. Anyway, fuck all that. Let's talk about the New England Patriots, man. Let's talk about the New England Patriots and what they are and what they aren't. Again, we faced number 1 offenses. The only reason you're probably the number 1 offense is because other number 1 offenses had to go through the Texans first. The only reason that, Drake Maye is in a conversation for time, because you haven't played the Texans yet. Like, niggas started to fall off, right? White and black niggas. All niggas started to fall off. And for y'all who were wondering what I was vibing to, I told you I was on my Bad Bunny because I'm ready for that Bad Bunny concert. And I'm ready for the Texans to be playing and that Bad Bunny concert to be playing amongst the Texans game. So it's a twofer for me. You feel me? But the reason he's number 1 is because you hadn't had to see the Texans, right? Like you hadn't had to see anybody real. right? You had to, because let's think about it. Let's talk about a few things, right? Let's talk about a few things. Let me see if I have some order to my stuff here, because I told myself it was going to be in order, but I had some points I wanted to address. Let's talk about the thing everybody wants to talk about. Let's talk about the conversation that both Pats fans and Houston Texans fans are both having right now. And this is a conversation about how easy it's going to be to win the AFC Championship, right? Both of us are saying how easy of a road it is to get to the Super Bowl this year, right? And I don't even want to use the word. I don't even want to use the word, but I'm just saying how this is what people are saying. I'm not saying this yet, one game at a time. But if we want to peek over the hedges, that was like what was that? I'll never do that again. Oh, what was that? I want to peek over the hedges, yeah, like a small child. It looked like Wilson over the gate. Look, man, let me tell you what's going on here. Robbie J, what's the motherfucking deal? Like, it's a situation where we both are looking disrespectfully at one another. But only one of us has the right to hold that disrespect. Because you think about it, what was it the Texans had? Was it the third, fifth, something most difficult schedule, while the Patriots probably had the easiest one, right? You look at the opponents who the Patriots played. Again, last play schedule, you're playing nobodies, you're playing guys who aren't going to the guys who were not in the playoffs, right? Like, I could pull it up while we're talking about it, because I don't have it on like I said, I don't have the bot set up like I need to. But we'll do it like this. Oh, you know what? That's probably why. Oh, see, I'll be pleasantly surprised with myself. Okay, shut up, Peanut. Let's take a quick peek, right? Let me do this while we're doing this. But again, like, you look at the opponents, you look at who we played. Like I said, we're collecting hats. Teams that we've played have been playoff contenders. Teams that we've played have been, like I said, have been number one offenses until they came in counter with the Texans. And I think the 2 or 3 times we had number one offenses, I want to say it was the Colts, and then whoever it was around the Colts. I don't remember that shit. Was like back-to-back number one offense, or whoever was prior to, something like that. And knocked both of those off. The number one defense overcame the number one offense both of those times. What makes you think that, yeah, we were going to beat them? Of course we were. All right, we're going to beat them. Herb Gotti, what's the motherfucking deal? Of course. Like, that's why I say it's, the Denver thing is just additional, right? But when you're looking at competition, you're looking at these things. So both of us are looking at each other disrespectfully. But the Texans have played competition on a par of the Patriots for quite some time. The Texans have been playing 10 weeks of playoff football, 10 wins in a row, 10 weeks of playoff football, because the last few weeks, everything has been win or go home. It's been, hey, we've had to go through some adversity. Let's say that we've had lost guys to concussions. We had Stroud out for a little bit. You've had Nico out for a little bit. You had Davis Mills running this offense. You know what I'm saying? You've had questions about guys and their health. You've had line changes. You've had a bunch of things happen throughout this streak, right? That have proposed, that have kind of proposed a challenge, right? And we've overcome those things. It's kept the win streak going. Texans have a 10-game win streak. It's hard to win 10 games in the NFL in a season. It's extremely fucking hard to do it 10 games in a fucking row, right? That's no fluke, right? Because again, you got some high caliber competition, you got some low caliber, you got wins there when you weren't even trying to win, right? Like, so this is not an accident. This isn't happening by chance. But let's talk about how this road got so easy. Because last night I think we were all watching the game, right? I think we were all watching the game last night. I think we all saw it because we were all a little anticipatory of, hey, if the Texans win this game and they're going to their first AFC championship, who could their opponent be? And we watched a game that, if you agree, drop a 1. If you disagree, drop a 0. A game that I would say was, being nice, called unfairly. Being blunt and honest, was rigged, right? A game that was rigged for Denver to win. Because there were multiple occasions. We can talk about overtime. We can talk about prior to overtime. We can talk about touchdowns that should have been called, shouldn't have been called. We can talk about catches that were catches. We can talk about plays that were not interceptions. We can talk about a lot of different things that took place. Hector Rodriguez, what's the motherfucking deal? We can talk about a lot of things that took place in that game. But the beauty of being a Houston Texans fan is that don't give a fuck who we play. Like we at no point in time have we ever been scared of Denver. Denver only won by God's grace of a field goal when we had Davis Mills. As much shit as I put on CJ was cooking that Denver game. For that vaunted, Denver's defense is not real. Denver's defense, in a game that matters, you're getting 30 hung up on 30 points. Did y'all see that shit? What's the motherfucking deal? Y'all see 30. You let the Bills? You let Allen dot you up a couple. You let Allen in the end zone. The Texan defense would never let Allen in the end. Oh my God, what's wrong with you guys? Right? Like this is your house. You let y'all next 30. Hey, you've heard all season how Denver's defense is as good as Houston's. We're the overdogs. We're the real number one defense. Man, look. I didn't see no defense on that field last night. None of them motherfuckers were getting trucked. Now, the Texans would never go out like that. I guarantee you. If it's gonna be an outcome that we don't find favorable, it's gonna be a low scoring affair. It ain't gonna be because somebody hung 30 on. Absolutely not. Oh my God. So I don't want to hear any more of that talks of Denver's defense being compared to ours at all. No Nico. Right, I know no Nico is a conversation a lot of people are on. People saying, "Oh well, CJ doesn't have his number one guy. What's CJ Stroud gonna do to make up for the loss of Nico Collins?" Nico don't fucking matter. Like I'm gonna be honest, and this is a conversation we can have at the end of the season. Y'all remind me about this, right? This because we were having it actually in the Discord earlier. Shout out to Ray. We were having it earlier. It's a conversation we're gonna have at the end of the season, if y'all want to get really real, no matter what the outcome of this season is, it's a conversation that's going to need to be had. And there might be some casualties. There might be some casualties we need to talk about in the near future, right? And so I'm giving you, some of you guys who like to listen and steal content, y'all can take that and run with that. Anyway, but some casualties that we're going to talk about in the near future. So I know y'all don't want to talk about it, but again, when no Nico is not a problem. No Nico is actually a benefit for CJ, right? So then that's my deal. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. No Nico is no Nico is more of a blessing, right? Because now Stroud is going to have to make a commitment. Because I feel like Stroud. Somebody I know you know the saying. If y'all been around long enough, you know the saying. Go with your first mind means go with your first choice, right? Sometimes it looks like CJ's out there second guessing himself, like plays that are guys that are open, and he's second guess making that throw. Like he almost kind of relies a little bit more heavily on, if all else fails, at least let me try to find Nico, right? And more so in some games than others, right? Because we've seen games where you go to Nico early and you don't see from him for a fucking half. It's the Nico relationship's actually kind of weird, but we've seen that CJ have good games without Nico or not without relying too heavily on Nico. But when you need those big chunk plays, when you need those big yard plays, or maybe that crucial first down catch, he relies heavily on Nico. Now you're gonna have to trust the young guys, right? So what that means is, again, while Nico's out, which is great for CJ and the future moving forward, is he is able now to build more chemistry. And this is chemistry in the big game. So this is going to translate into future seasons. It's going to translate into, next year and all that stuff. Once you can build that rapport, hey, I know I can count on these young guys in big games. They made crucial catches. They came up clutch. Hutch, Noel, Higgins, you know what I'm saying? And we saw the reemergence of Christian Kirk. He's going to spread it out. He's going to go with his first man. He's going to go with the open guy instead of hoping that he can maybe see something a little bit better or trying to scan to see a little bit that he thinks he can get a few more yards on. I think he's more likely. I think if we watch him today, that he's going to be much more decisive with the ball than he is when Nico's available, because it's almost kind of like you kind of got that, if you can get it, but it's just, I think he's going to be much more decisive today. Delayed, not denied was some motherfucking deal. So again, you got a situation with Drake Maye. Everybody's talking about, well, Drake Maye, he's mobile. So you think that he's the only mobile quarterback in the league? Drake Maye, he can throw the ball. Drake Maye, statistically, was looking CJ-esque. I mean, it was just done in a different format. A lot of these quarterbacks, and if we're going to keep it real, right now, I know a lot of people are talking about how people are going to talk about what's his fucking name? Josh Allen, right? I do believe, though, even though Josh Allen played like complete dog shit, I think he still had a better game than CJ did last outing because he put the ball in the end zone multiple times. So that's my only thing. He had more yards, right? Both of them had shit games. Josh Allen's been looking like shit in the playoffs. There's a question there's a conversation you might have to have about Josh Allen. I don't think his future with the Bills is in question, but I think something's going to shake around there, right? Something going to shake around there. So, you know what I mean? I know people would have liked the Bills to win, bring it back home, and all that. I get it, but either way, getting back to it, like I said, hopefully, if we can get 75% of Woody Marks and what we got out of Woody and Chubb last week, I feel much more confident. But like I was saying about Drake Maye, he hasn't seen anything like this Texas defense. Y'all saw the Chargers got to him about, 5 times? 5? What did the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap. And they slapped his bitch ass around, right? They slapped him around. If the Chargers, let's play a game, Texans fan. The Chargers. We've seen the Chargers. We saw the Chargers firsthand. We played up against the Chargers. We've seen what the Chargers have done to our offense, and we saw CJ make some goofy decisions. But the Chargers game is relevant, right? Because that's the game that a lot of them been referring to. It took y'all brag about how Drake Maye is so much better than CJ Stroud. It's clear Drake Maye's MVP candidate. CJ came out and dotted the Chargers up for 14 out the gate. 2 drives in a row. Y'all niggas ain't put a touchdown on the board till late or we're midway through the 4th. Trent Brown is out. That is a conversation to be had. Trent Brown being out is a slight concern, right? Is a slight because you got a concussion thrown into a concussion. Goddamn. I didn't say that. El Lobo said it. Man, Cave, what's the motherfucking deal? I'm not taking credit for that. No, I'm just fucking with you. D, what's the motherfucking deal? Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a situation where, bro, the Chargers got to him like 5 times. If the Chargers got to him about 5 times, you know what I'm saying? If the Chargers got to him about 5 times, the Texans might get to them about 8 times. Right? And this is not being like, I just think that Texans are so much like, it might get to them about 8 times. If we're being real, you know what I'm saying? Because the Professor Trill, what's the motherfucking deal? As people, some people who pay attention bring up, people who are not in the Boston media, because the Boston media, you got to sell your people. You got to sell. We're the Patriots. We're gonna win. Year 2. This guy named Tom. He faced similar circumstances. He was Nobody was saying Tom was generational in year 2, nigga. Nobody was on Tom Dick like that. All right. Niggas wasn't on Tom Dick like that. It took a little bit. Like I say, it was kind of a similar situation that many of you have mentioned in the conversations that we have offline in the Discord, that Tom Brady relied heavily on that defense early on in his first couple of champions. It could be the CJ path, right? It could be the CJ path. He might. That's what I say. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want CJ touching the ball. I don't want CJ to have to. We make references to Dilfer, right? We make references to Dilfer. Dilfer used to throw that bitch sometimes 13, maybe 15 times a game. I'm not upset if we're in a position that we can play like that and come out with a victory. I'm not upset with it, right? I want CJ to get the game experience, but I don't want him to have too much on his shoulders. Okay. And I know people say, Hunter, you're a fucking dickhead. You really don't like CJ, man. Just tell the truth, Hunter. You really don't like CJ, and I'm not. I think that long term, CJ potentially is the answer, right? I don't think he's not the answer. I think it could go either way, but I'm leaning more so that he is, right? But it's still, he got a lot to prove. I don't think I'm wrong in saying I feel like CJ has a lot to prove. Right? CJ has a lot to prove to really say that he's that guy. But again, he's a guy, depending on how things work out, he can be a mainstay. Again, if he starts looking like he did earlier on, hey, maybe, Petrie, like I said, I mentioned Petrie, how Petrie had a great rookie year, and people he fell off, and then he kind of started making it back. Now you see what maybe it's a similar trajectory for CJ. Maybe it was maybe a little year or two in between, kind of recalibrate, get it right. New coordinator, I get it. You're missing a piece of running game, ain't what it was, and then maybe it's that. But right now, I don't want him being dependent. I want him to say he was there and he led a Super Bowl winning team, but I really don't want the work to be on him, if you know what I mean, right? So it is what it is. CJ Stroud, what's the motherfucking deal? Kingdom, what's the motherfucking deal? Jesus is King. Let me see if I miss you. I promise I ain't dish you, man. So it's a situation where I mentioned in one of the little clips I mentioned last time. When you talk about the Patriots, you see this weird talk now because I guess there's few people left to talk about Christian Gonzalez being a top corner. Y'all Christian Gonzalez was going to work last year, bro. Like, can't wait till Tank comes back. But, is Christian, who cares? Like, the CJ was, and here's the thing, like, in recent history, that's one of the better games CJ probably had, right? Or at least CJ was putting that motherfucker, like, CJ, the offense was moving against the Patriots. One of the few teams I would say that in recent history that I recall, it looking like we were capable of doing something. Y'all think that he's improved that much? You think that, of course, there's a lot of missing weapons. Like I said, we're missing no Tank, no Mixon, no Nico, no motherfucking me. Who else scored out? Who else went over the game? We're missing somebody else. I think it's like 2 other people we're missing, but it really doesn't matter. Again, you don't hear people talk about their defense like that. But when you hear the Houston Texans defense, people are naming names now. People who are paying attention, like I said, not the Boston media who has no idea who these guys are because they're heads up their own ass, right? Yeah, let's throw it at number 2. I don't know who that guy is. Yeah, throw it at him. Yeah, that's test number 4. Yeah. Okay, yeah, do that. You can't take these guys aren't rookies anymore. These guys aren't, when the last time you saw them and had the chance to take advantage of some of those mistakes. All that's been cleaned up, right? So I was thinking, I said, CJ is our quarterback. And what I'm hoping is that we talk about wins. We talk about, CJ's got, what he's got now, 3 playoff wins. Trying to get 4. You're like, hey, he's got more than Lamar. He's got more than all the Arizona Cardinals. He's got more knowledge. These crazy stats, right? And that's cool. But we worry about the wins too much because sometimes I think you get more knowledge in a loss. L is not an L if you learn the lesson. I think you get more knowledge. I think you get more experience from the loss and learning because that's what makes you figure out, okay, what did I do wrong? What do I have to overcome? How do I fix this? I'm not saying that's what I want. But CJ's taken a few playoff lumps. He's gotten ridiculed for his performance in the first game, and rightfully so, right? Because it wasn't great. But we've seen a few other performances equally as bad. Seen a few other performances where quarterbacks were putting their teams in position. They don't have the luxury of the defense that we have. So that's fortunate for him. But I'm hoping that those losses that he's had, that have accumulated over the years, maybe he took some time, maybe did some meditating, he different. Wise, we were duped. I thought the nigga was dressed normal, then I saw the full pic. That nigga basically got a new rendition of the outfit he had last time. Like you play them games, you have to go in the little closet, you be having like the same little coat, but it just changed. It almost looked like the same shit he had on last time, but just he swapped colors on. It's just another colorway. Anyway, so I'm hoping that those lessons from those L's come and can accumulate and get us to a victory, right? Hopefully that he's taking the experience from those losses, the experience from that last game. I don't necessarily want him listening to the media. I think he's a little sensitive about certain stuff. That's just me personally. I'll say some people may or may not agree. It is neither here nor there. I just hope that he's in his own head and deciding, who he's going to be. But again, I don't want him to think that we need to depend on him to win the game. I just want him to orchestrate enough to not lose us the game, right? And it's not. And I hate saying it like that because it makes it sound like CJ Stroud's like a fucking loser. You know what I'm saying? It makes me, because I don't think he's a loser. I just think he's not been playing good, right? Like that's where I'm at. But right now, so since he hasn't been playing, I just don't want him to orchestrate us into a loss unless he go. Now if he go off, see they be pulling club manager T-skin. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's talk about a thing, right? So let's talk about history. Let's talk about history, man. This game is extremely meaningful if you are a Houston Texans fan, depending on how long you've been here. Some of us newer than others, some of us older than others, some of us depending on, the age you grew up in. Sometime when you were born, maybe you switched over from another team or whatever, but you've been riding for a couple of years. You've gone through a couple of lumps. You've seen this team get so close. You've seen the pieces all come together. You've seen everything look like it was just right, only for some type of scandal to make it fall apart. We've been through things. We've been through allegedly racist owners. We've been through coaches who don't even like their players. We've been through accusations on quarterback diddlers. We've had people who've gotten promotions within the organization who who are questioning how it ever happened, right? We've had arguments over ownership stakes. We've had, all kind of, we've talked about owners being inept. You know what I'm saying? We've talked about payment issues. We've talked about all kind of different things with this organization, only to really look at the big picture, stand back now, and you say, does all of that matter if the Texans win this game? And it's not, this game doesn't take you to the big game, but this game takes you somewhere you've never been in as an organization. I think that we can all collectively say that we would appreciate the great step forward. The way things are set up, it's favorable to take 2 steps forward, right? But one thing at a time. But if we can get this game, and that's why I say it won't mean as much to the Patriots. They've been there. They had Tom. They think this is the renaissance of Tom. Like it's like this is what is it when you've been reincarnated? Tom ain't dead, so he's not reincarnated. If Brewski could suit up and play in this game, I swear to God, that fucking dick riding motherfucker. If they would let him, he fucking would. Anyway, but this means so much. This is a historic step for the Texans for a couple of things, right? Because again, you go to the AFC Championship. We've never been to the AFC game, right? You get a guy. You get CJ gets his 4th. You get a guy in D'Amico taking a step, and you have to have a question about D'Amico. And what you say is, if D'Amico wins this game today, is D'Amico the best coach in Houston Texans history? And I know some of you are willing to say that right now, and I wouldn't disagree with you if you felt that way, right? Like I wouldn't disagree with you if you felt that D'Amico was. You know what I'm saying? Also, we take that next step. You look at the pieces. You look at the names that have been rotated from seasons prior and where we are now, trades that have been made that you've liked, that you disliked. If we make it and we win this game, does that make Nick Caserio the greatest Texans GM ever? It's a conversation that needs to be had, right? Because I know we got ties, we got allegiance. I know people have been up and down on Nick. I mean, even through the season. We're not going to give Kaylee anything for the OC. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to say anything about Kaylee. That's not what I'm going to say. But, man, the true slang, what's the motherfucking deal? Right, exactly. Like, it's so much bad that's happened that what is lined up right now for the Houston Texans is, I was saying it earlier in streams kind of about week, I want to say maybe about week 11, 12-ish, I think I was saying some things about Team of Destiny, right? Like the Team of Destiny and things happening because, knock on wood, I talked about how healthy we were this late in the season. Usually that's not a thing that happens for the Texans, right? Usually it's decimating. And again, I tell y'all this is why I don't always look ahead, because what could happen to anybody, what happened to the Broncos could happen to anybody. So that's why I say I'm not a person that likes to do a lot of crazy hypotheticals and diving and moving forward. But I look at it like this. Knock on wood, worst of the worst. If it had to come down to it, one, I believe we could beat the Patriots with Davis Mills. But if we just had to move forward and move, you can take the Buffalo. You can take the Buffalo. You can take the Broncos out with Davis Mills. So I'm not hoping anything happens, CJ. But I'm just saying, things can happen. Whatever. That defense, we just need them to be like our quarterback. The impact of like our losing our quarterback would be losing like Stingley or something on defense or somebody else. Knock on fucking wood. But even then, it would have to be some other things going on. The Eagles won with Nick Foles. That's what I'm saying. It can be done. So that's why I say I have no excuses from the Broncos. But this game, when I say is historic, again, a chance to go to the AFC Championship game again, something that the Texans have never done. I think we're the only team that has never done it. We don't have that expansion excuse anymore. You have a chance for, like, say, you have a conversation where you're talking about GM and you're talking about the coach, that these guys come together and they made the greatest regime in Texans history, a winning regime, taking us to the next level, possibly to all the way there. The Patriot way. The Patriot way. Let's talk about the Patriot way, right? Because let me make sure we got time, because I want to make sure I'm about 10 minutes early. Let me go into this Patriot. We'll talk about this real quick. We're going to talk about my motherfucking words. We're going to talk about real quick. I've been running my mouth, but I did get started late. The Patriot way, right? We talk about how ingrained the Patriot way has been into this organization, right? We even talk about Nicky Scissors, right? Nicky Caserio. Nicky Scissors, he's a Patriot guy. Now he's going back against his own. Do you think that he's still You say, in the stream, stop talking. It's time. All right, game over with. Let's go. We go call a wrap. It's over with. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this clock, but I'm out of this bitch, babe. Let's go. Adios-ski. We go. I'm done. I don't know why. Marvin motherfucker wants to tell you with the Patriots. It's done. It's game time. That's what I'm saying. This schedule fucking pissed me off. I'm out. Go. Adios. Bye.